Hey guys, Teacher Jess. I wanted to record another little video just for some like mental and emotional health kind of homework. So we've been talking about the importance of being a self-manager during this time, that there's just more that's going to be required of you guys to be able to manage yourselves and be independent and take care of things on your own, because even though your parents are home and maybe around more, there's more demands on their time while they're home. And so it's going to be important to make sure that you guys are doing what you can to take care of yourselves. We also talked about patience, extending patience for everybody. So siblings, parents, family members, and ourselves. So this is a lot of change and a lot of stress in a very short amount of time. As you may have checked into Teacher Ashley's Challenge by Choice, there are things that we might feel positive about, and there are things that we might feel negative about. There's definitely things that we feel negative about, and that are just hard. It's hard on everybody. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about the power of positivity. And we've talked a little bit about it in the past, about how important your attitude or your outlook can be on shaping your reality. So we've referred to it kind of as that mind over matter. And also thinking about where you direct your focus. So where you choose to focus really ends up shaping your attitude about things, and your attitude can truly have an effect on your reality, on things around you. So what I mean by that is that if we are choosing to focus our attention on the negative sides of things, and it's not to say to ignore them or that they aren't there or that they don't exist, but if we choose to just focus on those. So it's one thing to notice the things that are negative and go, yeah, it's a bummer I miss my friends, or yeah, I really miss seeing Teacher Jess in person. If it's one thing to notice those things, it's another thing to kind of sit and dwell in those places. And what happens is when we sit and dwell in the negative space, that is what ends up taking up more and more of our view. So where we choose to direct our focus is really ends up kind of permeating means transferring through into our attitude and into the rest of the things and how we see things around us. So the power of positivity is that if you choose to not dwell in the negative spaces, if you choose to instead think about some of the positive things and focus instead on those, again, noticing the things that are negative, because it's not like they're not there, but just noticing them and going, yeah, that's a bummer, and moving on from that. And I'm going to talk about a few strategies for how to do that in a second. But if you do that, then you're going to end up actually making yourself a happier person by not dwelling in the negative spaces. So some strategies for how to shift your focus to focusing on the positive. The first one is a lot of people call this different things, but gratitude is really the basis of it. Some people refer to it as counting your blessings. Some people refer to it as just looking at the bright side. But however you phrase it, the point really is in looking at all of the things that are good in your life. And so I really like that Teacher Ashley had you making a list of things that are both positive and negative, because yeah, there's definitely negative things in there, but there are also some positive things. I think we can all appreciate some positive things. And in your check-in reports that you guys have been sending me, I've been noticing a lot of you doing that. So you'll have things like, I miss my friends, but but I enjoy spending time with my family. And that is that crucial step in noticing the negatives, but not dwelling in them. So noticing, but then choosing, making the conscious choice to shift your focus to the positives. So that's a bummer, but there's also something good to be had as well. And probably about 90% of the time, there is always something positive to find. It may be small, it may not be obvious, but what you find is just like training yourselves to see hearts. You guys who did the See a Heart Challenge last year found that the more you start looking for hearts, the more you start seeing the hearts. And positivity works the same way. The more you focus on the negative, the more negative you see. The more you start focusing on the positive, the more positive things you see. So that's the first step. The second step is really to, when you find yourself in a negative space, to try to break the cycle, because what ends up happening is if you focus on the negative things, then you, like I said, you tend to keep seeing negative things, and then that makes you feel even more negative, and so then it kind of turns into this this like circle effect where it's like you see the negatives, you dwell on the negatives, then you see more negatives, so then you're feeling crummy, so then you see more negatives, so then you feel crummy, and so on and so on and so on. So if you can, again, using the strategy of this is a bummer, but this is something good, and really trying to replace your inner monologue, which is what the voice that you may hear in your head, or kind of the train of your thoughts. If you are finding yourself having a constantly negative inner monologue of focusing on all of the bad things that are going on, I want you to try to catch yourself. First of all, the first step is being aware of it. And the second step is to try to replace some of those negative things with the positive things. So if you haven't already, I would highly encourage you to follow Teacher Ashley's challenge by choice of creating a list. And even if you don't want to do the whole challenge, I would strongly encourage you to at least come up with a list of positive things. Because I think that we're all very aware of the negative things that are going on right now. And like I said, it takes work, it takes effort, it takes a constant reminding ourselves to view things from a more positive light. And we all have things to be grateful for. There is a lot during this time that is uncertain. And so the more that we can focus on even simple things like, I have food today. And if you don't, please let me know, because our school is delivering breakfast and lunches at no cost. So if you do not have food, please let me know. But generally speaking, I think that is something that all of us can say that that is a good thing in our day, that we have enough food. That's something to be really grateful for. And it seems like it's something small, but it's something really big. We all have people around us who love us. And that, again, also seems like something that we take for granted, but is also really important, and something that we really get to spend some time experiencing right now. So those are a few of the things that I can think of from my list that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that I continue to have a job. My heart hurts for people who do not have a job right now. But I also feel fortunate that I get to continue to work. I get to continue to be of service to you and your families. That is something that has really been giving me meaning in my days, and especially on the harder days. I get to spend more time with my family, and that is looking really different right now. My partner Jake is continuing to work, and so he has been quarantining in the back room, as I know that some of you have parents who are doing that too, especially those of you who have parents who are working in the medical field. Please make sure to thank them from all of us. But those are some sacrifices that families are having to do, and that's kind of this drawback to continuing to work is that if you don't have the luxury of working from home, or if you don't have the luxury of having a family that can survive on one person's income, then there are sacrifices that have to be made. And so again, that's the negative part of it. But if I choose to not dwell in the negative part, but instead realize the positive part, which is I value the time that we get to spend together so much more now. And we are spending more time together. We're finding creative ways to do that. So I hope that you guys are all doing well this week. You've made it to Friday. I'm also going to be posting a fun Minute to Win It challenge in just a few minutes as well. But I love you all. I wish you all a wonderful weekend. Make sure to do something relaxing. Go have a dance party. Go on a bike ride. Go do some art. Go do something fun. I hope that you're sprinkling that throughout your days, but especially when you get to Saturday and Sunday, it's important to have something to celebrate, and you guys have been working incredibly hard. The last thing that I will say is I saw a post from Cecilia on the classroom page that said, too bad Teacher Jess can't give us stickers for doing our math work. I would be more than happy to send you stickers. So what I posted on the classroom page is if you can take a photo of your completed math work, and if you can email that to me along with your mailing address, I will mail you stickers for your completed math work. So so keep up the great work. And have a great weekend. Love to you all. Bye.